welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. The NPA scam and the Nirav Modi scandal in particular has hit the Modi government very hard, especially on an issue where it is always attacking the Congress on. That is, of course, crony capitalism and nepotism. Of course, it's very hard to give a clean chit to one government and totally blame the other, because in cases like this, usually most political parties are involved. But at the end of the day, let's also take a look at the larger picture. That is, of course, of putting regulatory frameworks in place. Joining me on this discussion on the roundtable today is Dilip Cherian. He's an image guru and also political commentator. Shantanu Guare, he's an author and the India editor of the Central European News. And Madhu Yaski, national spokesperson for the Congress Party. Shantanu, I'm going to begin with you. You can outline the whole problem for us and the Nirav Modi scam in particular. You know, are Madhu Yaski and his party right when they keep blaming the BJP? Because at the end of the day, this is something that has been going on for years.
Okay, I'm not a great expert on diamonds, and with two legends on both sides, I'm very apprehensive in talking. The Nirav Modi scam, let's see it this way, is a purely business scandal. It is not a political slugfest between the BJP and the Congress. If Nirav Modi, whether he rose to his glory in 2011 and what all he did, he has been in business for the last 20 years. His family has been into the business. He has moved into the business. He has violated certain norms. He has given business to the banks, but now he has disappeared. He claims sitting somewhere in Belgium or probably Antwerp that he will not come back and he feels hurt and all of that, which is basically a decision which the current government is to take. But in this entire case, I think what really worries me is the way people are defying the guardians of law. The way people are cocking a snook at ED, SFIO, the CBI, saying, I don't care about your investigation, I don't even mind. They're saying this, all these guys are saying it without any genuine proof. Some of them have proofs. If we talk about Lalit Modi, he has put all the papers right up on his website. But in this particular case, one Nirav Modi has tainted a huge market in this country is that of diamonds. Diamonds employs more than diamonds and diamond jewelry. 4.5 million people, or 1.5 million are directly involved in it. India is the world's biggest hub of diamond cutting and all. And currently, because of this controversy, everyone is saying this industry is tainted, ban this, do that. That is not exactly the answer. The answer is one has to track Nirav Modi down, do a repatriation and extradition and just bring him back and haul him over the coals. Okay. That's all. But once again, I can't call every fugitive a criminal. I'm not calling that. But let the law take its own course. I see increasingly people saying this, I'm not going to come back and I don't care. That is an attitude that really worries me. And that is something I'm sure the government needs to take care. So the BJP government has to take care of that.
Madhu, before I bring you in, I also want to tell our viewers that we did invite a BJP spokesperson who had to unfortunately drop out at the last minute. So it's not just as if we are going to make this an anti-government, anti-BJP conversation. But the fact that, let's talk about the larger systems in place. You know, he's talked about Nirav Modi. We have Vijay Mallya in absconding also, Lalit Modi. These are problems that have been going on for years. It's not a BJP problem.
Well, to begin with, Priya, first thing, to talk anything about facts or about the government, you are branded as an anti-government. So we don't consider neither the NewsX nor you as for or against. Let me start with the biggest NPA, non-performing asset, is Bada Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister himself.
Okay, so now the whole conversation is about Prime Minister Modi.
If you look at he promised the black money. He promised 15 lakhs to every citizen.
No, I'll give you a smart line, but come back to the topic.
Okay, I'll come to the topic itself. To begin with, since it's a discussion on NPA, I would love to say that the biggest NPA is Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister himself.
All right, we heard that
Modi, and
point.
the Chota Modi coming up with his, whatever he promised, nothing has been delivered so far. So coming to the Nirav Modi issue here. It is BJP trying to blame it, it started from 2011, this LOUs started taking it. But if you look at the charge sheet filed by CBI, the whole scam, now it's more than 11,300 crores. Today the news coming up before I came here, it's crossed 13,000 crore.
Yes.
So, the majority of the funds is drawn from the PNB between 2016 and 17 in the last 1 year. And it is not Congress is alleging, it is the Shiv Sena alleging that this Nirav Modi gave thousands of crores to Modi's campaign. I would like to ask you, Priya, why the media and the civic society not asking tough questions to Mr. Modi from 2012, where did he get all this money, thousands of crores he spent for election campaigning? Each Sunday he used to visit. So where it is coming? So it's the Shiv Sena who's alliance partner, who's a part of the government at NDA, etc. They're blaming that it is Nirav Modi gave thousands of crores to Mr. Modi. This is isn't it a quid pro quo? Why the Prime Minister is allowed to tweet on every subject on this earth? He's keeping quiet.
On the Nirav Modi.
Well, say Mr. Modi questions Manmohan Singh when we were in power. Why the Prime Minister Modi is not speaking up? And if you look at one quick last point, as according to the Finance Minister, Mr. Jaitley, the NPAs rose. In 2013, it used to be 1,55,000 crores. From 2013 to 17, it rose over 311.22%. The NPA currently now 6,41,000. There some estimation is even saying over 7.7 lakh crore. So all this demonetization. Before demonetization announced, Mr. Nirav Modi deposited 90 crores cash in Punjab National Bank. Okay. Why this not been investigated? So all this money which is coming in under demonetization, indirectly Mr. Modi wanted to help all those crony capitalists, big five who helped him in the campaign.
Okay, Dilip, basically what the men in blue at our table are saying is that there is a problem here. So let's move away from the specific case to the systemic problem that is there.
Talking of silence and prime ministers, I think that much as I love the dear blue turban who's gone by, the fact is that prime ministers have a tradition of staying silent. Yes. Okay, and we've had NPAs well before Madhu Gaur's government came in.
Mr. Modi made a big issue out of it.
And before Mr. Modi came into power.
Now, which Mr. Modi is this?
We are talking about the prime minister. Okay. Now, I think one needs to look at the diamond scam as part of a much larger NPA scam which the banks are suffering from. The fact that we've had to create an NCLT, the fact that today a bigger scam is actually happening is that banks are selling assets and taking 80% haircuts on loans that are outstanding. So essentially what they're doing is NPAs are forcing banks to lose 80% of the loans that they've put out. So I think that if Nirav Modi, if according to what the reports by government agencies, if they've got 5,000 crores of diamonds in their raids, then Nirav Modi has done more than pay back.
Absolutely.
90% of what is outstanding.
Absolutely. This is the point. A very valid point.
The fact is that this is a running business, and whereas many of the other businesses, the companies that have gone down in steel, the companies that have gone down in power, are really a result of government messing around with policy promises and leaving banks with wailing babies who they are having to now sell at huge discounts. So NPAs are the real issue that needs to be discussed. Why have they been allowed to balloon? And they've been allowed to balloon each year under the watch of multiple
governments.
People.
Correct.
Okay. So the fact is that you and I, all of us here, as taxpayers, are going to end up, and the next generation is going to end up having to pay for it. So it's a very dangerous situation today.
Which is it? And Shantanu, you've written a book on the diamond trader, right?
It's just gone for kind of editing and all. I just want to say, what Dilip has brilliantly said is, whom do you believe? At one point of time, Vijay Mallya, the other Modi, Lalit Modi, were darlings of the crowd. Then came Jatin Mehta of Winston Diamonds. Jatin Mehta was the youngest president of Gems and Jewelry Export Promotion Council. At 28, he was the president chairman. He was a big shot. And one day we realized that he has gone away and there is 6,000 crores outstanding. Now, the way things are changing, the way you look at it, my investigation shows that the report on which the investigating agencies went after him, the report in the disclaimer has said, the Kroll report, it says it is all based on hearsay. I am an investigating agency, I am tracking somebody, I am chasing and going after somebody. Will I rely on this? Will the banks rely on it? I think the regulatory system in this country need to be really strengthened up. Look at SEBI. We don't even know what has happened to the great fight SEBI had with Sahara. There's one people saying the papers are missing. The other people saying the case is going on. And Sahara keeps putting back money. Now, I don't understand what Dilip rightly said. If he has left behind 5,000 crores worth diamonds, that means you are more or less sorted out.
No, but are they his diamonds or the franchisee's diamonds?
No, the diamonds is a peculiar business. Diamonds is a peculiar business.
Whose money has went into those
No,
diamonds?
fine. I mean, he's a retailer.
Money?
Yeah.
He's not he's a retailer come exporter. So he stocks diamonds. And this, diamonds also triggers peculiar conversations because we all still believe the blood diamond story. We believe in the mines, the gore, the land, the bullet, and diamonds keeping in pocket, you can always come in. Worldwide, blood diamond is just 1% of diamonds. The roots are now completely clear. Russia is dominating the market. The US is dominating the market. In about 10 months, 10 years time, India and China will dominate the market. So you just can't say Nirav Modi is a fraud, the entire industry is a fraud. So all I'm saying is, and let's not make it a BJP Congress fight. I mean, I think if somebody has put lots of money into the BJP coffers and the Congress hasn't got that money, I guess it's Congress's loss. So Congress now should kind of
You
beef
just
up
made it a BJP Congress fight with that comment.
So I think,
No, with the due respect to Shantanu Priya, as a law student, what I've read is, this white collar crime is bigger danger to the society than individual crimes. If you kill a person, you are only affecting one family or one person. But here by Nirav Modi's fraud or any other, these big industrialists are taking away the money. Today, we don't have the basic healthcare system. The whole country, biggest people get into debt is because of health expenses. 8,000 crores, just 8,000 crores waving in Karnataka, over 11.6 lakhs farmers have been benefited. There's so many farmers were committing suicide, and I don't understand this, why we taking it so easily. It's like it's a business. Quick point. It's like it's affected the whole Indian society. This is not just the Nirav Modi is only one tip of the iceberg. It's 11, now 13,000, it may be 20,000. Yesterday you saw some of the jeweler in Delhi, 300 crores, 1,000 crores. My own experience, Priya, as a member of parliament, I want to take a car in 2005. I have a deposits in, as an NRI deposits in ICICI Bank. First, refused to give a loan to the politician. Second, in spite of having, I thought like take a loan so that you can pay easy, they can invest that money into different thing. So it's a bank asked me collateral. Why this Punjab National Bank has not demanded collateral?
It did, but the collaterals are fudged. The agency that did the collaterals.
It won't happen without the political backing. Why the Rajan was removed? Raghuram Rajan was demanding, asking these banks to notify all those big companies who have taken the loan and were not paying in it. They are not doing a service to the society. They are looting the nation, which that money India can't afford. It's not like Singapore where declared 12 billion surplus budget. They are distributing cash to the citizens of the country. India is not in that position. We don't have money even to basic healthcare and education system.
And not pander to few rich.
I mean, what you rightly said is, I have a very interesting point here. It all comes down somewhere down the line to either the finance minister or the prime minister. But it never goes to the bank chairman, the managers who run the show, people whose job are to check the papers. You can't say, I have fudged papers.
Shantanu, I just reminder, sorry, interrupting. This vigilance officer of Punjab National Bank has given an award no less than Chief Vigilance Officer Mr. Chaudhary.
So he's agreeing with you that the systems are...
That's what I'm agreeing, sir.
It's not, it won't happen, it will not happen. As a 10 years member of parliament, as a lawyer, I'm telling you, without the political backing, this didn't happen. In the last 2 years, it's happened means there is deeper investigation has to be taken place. Well, that's what we're demanding. Why can't you appoint a Supreme Court judge and investigate in it? Whether any minister, finance minister, prime minister office involved in promoting and encouraging this Modi to get those loans.
I have this peculiar theory here, I mean, which is a very simple theory. We have relied on many great investigations and some great talk we have always done. As journalists, we have taken pride in covering those events. The great 2G scam has been flown out of the window by a lower court. The great cricket fixing investigation, on whose basis the Delhi Police Commissioner, Mr. Nirav
Prime Minister inviting Mr.
Okay, so
That's a different
point
subject. I don't
is,
want to go in there.
so the great cricket investigation has gone down the drain. We need strong people to deliver judgments. Our investigating agencies should be so strong, they should not depend on a hearsay report and collaborate with the bank to hound a jeweler or a diamond merchant. How come every time Lalit Modi comes on here and says, where is the proof? And now we are seeing in papers, now Lalit Modi will start counter questioning the ED guys and nobody is ready to go there.
So the idea is basically to put strong systems in place and
Absolutely.
to build up the proof. But we're going to take a quick break. After that, I'm going to come back to Dilip and ask him what all needs to be done really in terms of regulations. So stay with us. Hello and welcome back to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Dilip, before the break, we were saying that all the investigations, they lose steam halfway. How do we see that the charges are backed fully and the legitimate end comes?
Madhu spoke about the RBI and Shantanu spoke about the investigating agencies. I think the answer lies, Priya, very simply in these things being strengthened. You've got to allow the space for these institutions to function. If you don't do that, you are really setting yourself up for disaster. If not today, just tomorrow, not day after tomorrow, it will happen tomorrow. The point is that investigating agencies need the freedom, the flexibility, the budgets and the skills to go after what they need to go after. The Reserve Bank needs to finish counting notes and get back to regulating the banks. If they don't do that, we are as a society in deep economic trouble. And the net result is going to be the millions of people who Shantanu referred to as people involved in the diamond trade who are going to get choked because banks will refuse, as Madhu's case, refuse any kind of collateral and say, no, you deposit the diamond with us, then, and you can't even make out which diamond is real, which is fake, what is value, what is not value. And you're going to choke off yet another industry. That is, to my view, the bigger danger than H-1B visas. These are real people who are going to suffer and families are going to starve. So you cannot have, as a swing back effect of a Nirav Modi scandal, banking industry choking up and not giving loans, working capital to all of industry. That is the real danger. I agree that institutions need to be strengthened. They need to be strengthened today, not tomorrow, today. And I think that's the real answer.
But Dilip, the airline industry did not choke after Vijay Mallya. Why are you saying the banking industry?
Because in the case of the airline industry, you must recognize there are only 5 real players and they had not only deep pockets, they had their loan agreements with banks fairly in place. And don't forget that the biggest money for airlines comes from overseas borrowings to fund aircraft purchases. So that would not be a reason to choke it up.
Okay.
One quick point, Priya, here. These so-called, whether which government is doesn't matter, but these so-called investigations should see the end of it. Most of the time, I read way back in your previous India Today magazine, all these investigations ordered, inquiries ordered to suppress or close those camps. So if you look at even today in the US, the FBI is not listening to the president of the country. So that independency of judiciary or investigation agencies has to be protected. You have recollect the Supreme Court as day-to-day monitoring, asking CBI not to report then the Prime Minister, then to the court. They have taken that administrative powers also. What happening today? At least Congress has left this 60 years. where people can last resort to go to the court for a justice. Now justice is coming out to the public and asking for a justice. This is what happened in the last 4 years of Modi government. He is destroying the democratic institutions, destroying the RBI, destroying even those judiciary last resort what people have hope. What's happening in, if you look at Justice Loya's death case or Vyapam case in Madhya Pradesh, those so-called investigating independent agencies has been suppressed. If you question, then you are anti-national. He has a shame to even blame the former Prime Minister that he is an anti-national. And he apologizes.
Difficult to get the Congress out of the Congress spokesperson.
Yes. I mean, I fully agree to a large extent, but I think a Justice Loya death or a Vyapam and all,
Okay, that's another
there
story.
is a financial scandal involved there, and there are a lot of murders also, alleged murders that have happened. Let's come back to Diamond once again. I'm sure Diamond is also your favorite stone.
Well, I'm also favoring Diamond. But
you will buy one day.
Is that a Gitanjali Diamond?
MP. And I don't think you are in isolation when loans are refused. I think journalists and lawyers are in the same category.
Journalists don't get it.
And journalists don't get it.
Yeah.
So I think that
Bank
we are all
refused to give journalists and lawyers and
journalists and lawyers and cops, they don't get loans. So we are all in the same category. Coming back to diamonds.
Dilip is laughing.
Yeah.
So he's not
Having any of those in the past.
I think that is
not the victim of that.
Come back.
I think a section of the diamond industry also suffers because it always stays with the glitz and the glamour. It is not an earthy organization. It doesn't touch the roots of the people. Diamonds are meant to be for the riches. So whenever something happens, there is a mindset that grows in the country that, oh, the rich has stolen and he will run away with the cash. That's not the case. The case is individuals have been caught. These kind of cases have been happening over the years. Rather than making it into a political slugfest, you just go after that individual and bring him back, or allow that individual a chance to offer his point of view. In case of Vijay Mallya, I see all this, slugfest going on between him and his lawyers and the lawyers from this side. I'm still not getting a genuine answer. And the cases are going on and on. So I somewhere lose a little faith in these great investigating agencies when I see the head of one investigating agency is being probed for opening his door every evening and meeting all kinds of people.
Right.
So I don't understand that. That means he is vulnerable, and his vulnerability has been exploited by people against whom he has filed cases. So, I mean, no wonder today, judges are throwing out these cases. They are saying, sorry, your investigation is poor.
Yes.
So, I mean, where are we heading?
A tainted investigation doesn't mean that, Dilip, that the problem is not there. And,
the problem is very real. And the problem is on account of three things. One is theft. The second is absolutely bizarre twists in government policy. And the third is genuine calling wrong shots in business. The third is the kind of business which the stock markets and the banks are aware of. It's almost like buying insurance. You know that a certain percentage of businesses that come up for loans are bound to fail. So you take that into account. But theft and policy change are two causes of NPAs in this country, which can actually be stopped. Meaning, if banks had the power to stop these two, you would actually be in a good economic situation. What
half our problems, yeah.
Madhu said about the FBI being independent and what Shantanu referred to about other investigating agencies at their heads. The real answer is in governments having the bravery, the confidence to say, let these institutions run free and let them investigate us, and that's the way to actually run any democratic situation. Otherwise, you're in danger.
Okay, I'm going to end now before Madhu comes up with another one-liner against the Prime Minister, which we don't have a BJP spokesperson to counter. But the problem really here is not just NPAs and willful defaulters. It's the tragedy really is that, we can stop these things. If only politicians across parties come together and bring about the political will to stop this. So I do hope in the Parliament session that is coming up, these are the things that will be decided and not just a blame game at the end of the day. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching this show. We'll see you again, same time next week.